So in this video we're going to look and see what happens if we multiply or divide surds, I guess. Oh, though this might be interesting. Let's just see what happens with this one there. Oh no, it's nothing special. It's really silly. Anyhow, okay, so let's go. We've got this root 7 times root 3. What we do, we can turn that into a really big square root there. We can make that 7 times 3 and turn that into the square root of 21. Whoop-de-doo. Sometimes you may have to simplify, and let's just have a look. Oh, looks like this one may have to simplify. So square root of 2 times square root of 22. So once again, we can write that as being the big square root of 2 times 22, which ends up being the square root of 44. And what we can do with that, we know that 44, we can write that as 4 times 11. So there's our perfect square in that. Bring that 4 out to make it 2 root 11. So that's what we've got there. So it ends up being 2 root 11. So like I said, sometimes we have to do that. Okay, now for this thing here, just like when we multiplied, we put them under a big square root. We did the same thing when we divide. So this we can write this as being the square root of 30 over 3. And that just turns into the square root of, what's 30 divided by 3? Well, it's 10, isn't it? That's what we can do for that one. Can we simplify 10 at all? No, because 10 doesn't have any factors of one of which is a perfect square, apart from 1. But 1 is one a perfect square. Anyhow, it doesn't matter. Okay, on to the last one. Couple of ways we can do this. One thing we can, let's see, we can do this. So if we don't have a coefficient, remember it is a 1. And we'll do the first version over here. So we do 3 root 6 times negative. We can turn this into the square root of 9 times 2. So we can bring that 9 out there. So it becomes 3 root 6 times 3 root 2, and that is negative. So it becomes 9 root 12. And as we know, if we've got 12, that's 4 times 3. Bring out that, so it becomes 18 root 3. That's one thing we can do. Oh, it's got to be negative as well. That's one thing we can do. The other thing we can do is we can put this, we can just multiply the whole thing together. So this becomes negative 3. So 3 times negative 1 gives us negative 3. And we do 6 times the square root of 18. Sorry, well, 6 times 18. So that's 60. And 6 times 8 is 48. So it's 108. 108. So now what is the highest square number that fits into 108? Let's see, 16, will 16 fit in there? I know 9 will. 36 will fit. 3 36s, yeah, 36 will work. Okay, so then becomes negative 3, bracket, 36 times 3, and it's not a bracket, it's a square root. We take that 36 out, so negative 3 times 6 times the square root of 3, so we end up with negative 18 root 3. So that's what we end up with. So it's the same thing for both of them. So like I said, we can either convert one thing straight away, we can simplify one of them and then go through our multiplication, or we can just take it, combine them together, and then simplify after that. Either one, choice is yours, so long as it works.